I have not done a gear demo in a very long time, and I'm super excited to not be paid for this one, not have been given anything. I'm just excited about B3 guitars by Gene Baker. He doesn't actually put B3 on it. They're B3 guitars by Gene Baker. This is the Telstar, and I will talk as little as possible because everybody hates talking in these videos. It is like getting a 1959 Fender directly from Leo Fender. The build quality is fantastic, and it sounds like he somehow sounds like he put a piano in here somewhere, probably because the neck is reinforced with like steel truss, not a truss rod, but extra truss. The thing just sounds like there is a piano somewhere in here. So let's play a little more because no one wants to hear talking. Telecaster. There is a cut with the trem and the springs in the back, but it also has this metal kind of Telecaster thing, so it gives a little bit of twang to open chords. But a really nice tremolo as well. And then you have volume and tone, which I'm not going to go over because everyone should know what volume and tone does. But I will say that this volume and tone actually works. Still tube warmth even down below. And the tone is does something, which is fantastic. Now, one of the coolest things about this, there are Lawler pickups in there. The Lawlers sound really, really nice. One of the coolest things about this is this, but I also am going to say one of the coolest things about it is look at that black piping on both sides. It is built in to the nut, which is really, really cool. And this kind of like figured maple, maybe bird's eye, very figured maple, and having that black binding is amazing. Also having a 10-way freeway switch is amazing. And no, again, I'm not being paid for this, even though I'm using my very loud call now voice. 40 easy installments of $19.99. You too can have a piano 10-way freeway switch. Yes. When I first heard about the freeway switch, I didn't know what it did. I was like, I don't understand how there's 10 things in there. Do you have to push a button? If it goes up and down, doesn't that make it like really sketchy? It doesn't. So in the down position, look, up and down, really cool. Down position is regular Strat. Nice bluesy. Then your Strat quack in that position, which is both of these pickups in parallel. Most people, I think, don't know this, or at least I didn't know this. The first Strats in the 50s only had 3 positions. So people, to get this sound here, they would jam this in between so it halfway touched, the solder points of both pickups. And then eventually Fender was like, oh, I guess we better actually make that sound standard. Here's the middle pickup, which is actually super usable on Gene's guitars. Here is these two. That's the sound nobody uses, but it is there. Maybe like some country stuff. And then, of course, your back pickup, which is usually the weak point of a Strat, but it is voiced like a Telecaster. So nicely with just your attack with your hand. And then if you go up, we get these 2 pickups, now not in parallel but in series, for a humbucker type sound. So there's your Strat bluesy humbucker. Then if you go to the next one, you get these 2, which is what an expander switch usually does in the guitar. A little switch that just links these for the actual, like, that fake middle position Tele sound. Very cool. Now, if you do this one, you get the same 2, but in series again. So it's like a little bit grindier of a humbucker. Not exactly sure that one exists on a Les Paul. It's one of my favorite positions on this guitar. Then this one, you get all 3 pickups in parallel for the loosest, jangliest sound you could imagine. Most people, I don't think you'd ever use that, but in the studio, it can be really nice. Say you're in the background and your guitar player's going crazy and your drummer and your keyboardist, and the producer's like, hey, we need something just to fill it up in the background. This one is the... and then the back one, of course, is now these 2 in series for that back. Now, with the humbucker sounds, we also need to show. Gives you that headroom, and that piano sound just comes out so nicely. We also need to hear what it sounds like with some gain. So I've been using the matchless amps, which do have gain, but I want to do the gain. So we're going to do some Mesa gain here. So I might cut this part. Alright, so let's turn on that. Turn off the beautiful. So this is the Mark V. If you don't have a Mark V, you should get a Mark V because they're very cheap and they can do everything. With some gain and these humbucker settings. If we switch that back up, get back to our, oh I forgot to, matchless time now. There's the Clubman. The Nighthawk does not have a standby, so give it a chance to warm up. And you can actually hear the stereo coming in, which is one of my favorite parts. Then back to our regular neck on the Strat. Something amazing going with the B3 guitars. I believe he now has a new website up, so I just had to demo because I think it is so cool. I would love to think that I'm going to take the camera and do like a whole thing on this, and I might not, so just in case, pretend that's a camera pan.